Yeah, baby. Welcome to Spirituality Gone Wild. I am Debbie G. It's time for a cup of grotto with a shot of expression and 1, 2, 3 shots of reality this morning. We'll make it at 4 if you want to count me. You know, one of the things in life that came to me years ago, and this is one of the coolest things I ever experienced. And this was when I realized that all we need in life was one simple little thing. And John Fiore, if you're watching, this is for you. In life, the only thing you need is a little bit more cowbell. More cowbell. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, baby. Take it away, Serenity.
All right. You. Let abundance flow free to me. Let it flow.
Woo, let it flow.
Let abundance flow free to me. Let it flow. Let abundance flow free to me. And it comes to me so easily. Let abundance flow free to me. Let it flow. It comes to me so easily. It comes to me so easily. My manifested reality. Let it flow. 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 I let it flow.
Oh, hot damn. Woo! Talk about how that you raise that vibration. If anybody's curious, that's how you do it, baby. It's how you do it. Serenity, Sam, you rock. And I would like to welcome, of course, our glorious Steve Weber, American Gumption. If y'all missed that, that just was on the American Gumption show with featuring Miss Serenity Sam. Who you never know will play our cowbell. More cowbell. More cowbell. And now this morning, we have a super special welcome for many reasons, and that is I'm welcoming back Victoria Reynolds. Welcome, Victoria, but also not just to the stage, but to the Spirituality Gone Wild family, and announcing our beautiful partnership with the glorious Spiritually Raw. So, welcome.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be getting my show off the road, so to speak, or on the road with this group and with Spiritually Raw. So excited. I've been kind of hiding for a few years, and I've been pulled out of the closet. And so here I am. I'm super excited to be here.
That's beautiful. I love that. And in fact, I think that's an experience that a lot of us can resonate with, that feeling of being pulled out of the closet, so to speak, and this spiritual awakening or spiritual whatever that you want to call it, whatever works for you, works for me. Who else has ever felt like you just been sucked out like, wah! Oh my God.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I never would have guessed.
I've been working towards it, but then kind of, here you go.
I agree. I'm actually sitting here realizing how coordinated right now that you and Steve are. Like seriously, y'all look at this, like the scarf and the whole thing. Looks good.
And you guys look really amazing as well. Like you and Victoria just look so calm, and
Well,
nice.
I love that. It's just because it's because of the cowbell, baby. It's the cowbell.
It says it all, doesn't it?
Yeah, give us one more little, just one more.
Okay.
Oh, let me just feel it.
They are wicked.
Oh. Hot damn. I swear, there's something about the cowbell, man. You guys feel that. But the pretense behind it is that's what I'm looking at, and that's the rad part. Seriously, life, it's like if you think your life isn't where you want it, that it's not enough, that you need more, blah blah yada flirkin yada, get out of your victim and hit a cowbell. All you need is a little bit more cowbell and snap your ass out of it. Cowbell it. Because seriously, right? Get out of your head and get into some cowbell.
All right now, baby.
Baby, it's all right.
It's a cowbell song. It has to be.
Yeah. All right. I do know that. We could sing that. You're going to sing it, guys? Okay. Now we really got it going on because we've got Kelly Bird with different size cowbells.
Oh my God.
I absolutely love. Oh my God. Yeah. Right.
Get them on.
Totally. So I also want to give a huge shout out and thank you to La Diva who was our music this morning, straight
my
out of
God.
Switzerland. Oh yeah, just getting the groove on. Loved
Hot,
it. I
hot.
Yeah, right. Just like, baby. Mm. So now over to our darling Victoria. Victoria, let's talk about what does it even mean to be fearless and free?
Well, we presently live in a fear-based reality. And it took me a while to understand that. A friend of mine told me that about 10 years ago. And I was, what is she talking about? When we think about the reality that we presently live in, and we actually are moving away from, a bunch of us know that we're moving away from this fear-based reality. So all the choices and all of our systems and everything that we do in our world right now stems from fear. The key is to learn how to pull ourselves out of that fear-based reality and rise above it. So that's really what the ascension is that we're in right now, is learning how to pull ourselves out of the fear-based reality so that we can collectively create a new reality that's based in love. So that's what freedom is. It's freedom from the fear-based reality that we've been living in.
I love this. Okay, because it is a choice. And that is one of the things that I love about life, is that realization that everything's your own choice. Isn't that just a grim dinger? So I'm curious, Steve, what would Gump say about fear?
Well, Gump was smart enough to not know what fear was, or he was not smart enough to know what fear was. So he just went and did things without even thinking about them. He didn't realize that he forgot to learn the part where we're supposed to be afraid, and he just lived his life fearlessly. He didn't pay attention to the part where we all learn to live in fear. That was the beauty of Forrest Gump.
I don't even know what to say right now. Life is like a what?
Box of chocolates. There it is, the box of chocolates.
Woo! But correct us on the proper statement that he said, because what everybody thinks is not what was actually said, and you have taught us that. So how did he say it?
Well, the famous line from the movie is, "Life's like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get." That is a great line, memorable line from a movie, but that is a fear-based line. Life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. Oh my gosh, we gotta cower and be afraid of what options are coming our way. And the reality is that life is like a box of chocolates. You get to choose whatever chocolate you want. Life's like a box of chocolates. You get to choose whatever life you want. And that's where we let go of fear. And we just, because there's really no such thing as a bad choice, right? There's no, if you ever reached into a tree, you might have that you don't like as much as the next one, but you're just going to you're not going to fearfully not reach into that chocolate box ever again. And so that's the way we want to live life. Is life's like a box of chocolates. We get to choose whatever life we want.
I love this. So the question of the hour is, are you going to reach back into your box of chocolates? And are you going to fear the bite you take, or are you going to anticipate the yumminess that's about to enter your mouth? Woo, baby. Serenity, darling.
Yes.
Fear. Break it down.
Well, it comes and goes. It comes and goes. And I just think that you're not telling the truth if you're saying you've come back to fear. I had a little, yes, not being entirely honest about that. I've done miraculous things living in much more of a pleasant world myself since clearing myself out. I mean, I've done loads of things personally. But I know fear can rear its little ugly head in my life from time to time. And the thing is catching it early on. And it's also, for me, I've got all sorts of tools. If I feel it coming on, I can feel it coming on. I'm going wonky, I'm wobbling, I can feel it, and I'll say, wake up, just wake up, stop it, wake up and go do something. Do that thing that that's going to cheer you up. Go dance, go put on that music, go cuddle that bear, do whatever it takes, do not let that fear grip you, because once it does and the law of attraction gets a hold of it, it is difficult to break it. it is very difficult to dismantle it when it's gone a bit too far. So that's my take on it. Let's catch it before the momentum goes too far. And if it has gone far, then we're going to have to do some unraveling and some preventative measures for when it hits you again.
I love this. Yes, exactly. And I'm not joking. And one of my favorite tools is the freaking cowbell. I swear to God.
Know your tools.
Know your tools. Could you just give us a little, I just got to hear that thing.
Wake up.
Did you guys see? Did you just and the reason and this is very true, because it's the sound, it's the resonant sound. And right now we have one of the masters in sound healing that is watching our show. His name is Ian Morris, and this is listening to Smile. Oh, my lovelies, you're going to be meeting him very shortly. He is dynamite, fabulous, fantastic. So good morning, Ian. But sound. The resonant sound of that cowbell, and there's something about it when you strike it, and there's seriously. So hey, maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. But I think
it's very high vibration, isn't it? And
it totally is.
Cymbals, chimes, anything are very high tones.
Absolutely. I got the best tuning fork yesterday in the tone of Om.
Oh,
I was talking to Victoria about it last night. So and this morning I worked with the Om, just with the tuning fork. It's a weighted one. So I just worked with the tuning fork and just led to where my body wanted me to go with the weighted tuning fork. And it was an extraordinary experience, but it's the sound. Because right now we're going to lead into, if you are in fear, you had mentioned Serenity and Steve and Victoria, that all of this also requires that you use tools to pull yourself out of it. That is what we're talking about. So this is where I'd like to take a step into Victoria's world of healing and actually talk about breaking that fear-based space that is, if it's coming up for you. So if anybody has anything that's going on with them in the audience, feel free to type it into the chat. Anybody here have anything going on? I have my own fears. I have fears about stuff, but I'm going to hand it to Victoria, and then I can talk about whatever fears might come up for me.
So for me, I actually was given a process I call a transcendence process. That was the process that was given to me 10 years ago to heal my own life. The very first step to all of this is gratitude, which is why I love this show. So anytime that we are in fear about anything, is to step back and see it through the eyes of gratitude. Every choice we make, even that box of chocolates, when you get the one really bad tasting chocolate and you want to spit it out and put it back down, what it is, take a bite and put it back. But then there's something in it that we can be grateful for, always. So when we're talking about choices, there's 100 unconscious choices that we're constantly making because it's being bombarded at us. When we can stop and pull out of unconscious choices and start making conscious choices, then our choices that we make are better. And when we do make a choice that wasn't necessarily the best choice, I don't do right or wrong. I do what is best and what isn't best. So if we make a choice that isn't what's best, there's always something in it to be grateful for. Mm-hmm. What is the lesson that I needed to learn from this? What is the trauma from my childhood that's coming up that's asking for me for my resolution? There's always gratitude. And when we start to look at the situation through the eyes of gratitude, it starts to dissipate the fear.
That's beautiful. Now, what about, though, when it's really hard to get in gratitude because there's just a situation and you're like, oh, my God, but I just can't be grateful for that shit. Are you kidding me?
It has to start with little things. So there's always something to be grateful for. I discovered gratitude 10 years ago when I was trying to figure out how to make the law of attraction work for me. Remember The Secret when it came out?
Oh, God, yeah.
Right. And so I was trying to figure out this law of attraction. And I'd heard of the law of attraction for years. It wasn't a new thing for me. I'd been writing about it for thousands of years. Positive attitude and all that stuff. But I wanted to know how to make it work for me. And none of the teachers were teaching it because they wanted you to buy their expensive coaching program. I had zero money, none. After the 2008 recession, I was down to like $17 and almost.
I feel you, baby, right?
Yeah. So paying for a coaching program to find out how to work the law of attraction, I just didn't have it. So I was out walking one day and I asked myself, my myself. I didn't even know I had a higher self or an inner voice or any of that. And I was just out walking. And I asked myself how to make the law of attraction work for me. And the response was begin with gratitude. At the time, I had nothing to be grateful for. I didn't think I had anything to be grateful for. I was in the middle of a foreclosure and a bankruptcy and lost my business. And I had 2 kids with special needs. And I was like, had nothing to be grateful for. But then I was out walking and I saw this spectacular sunrise. And that started everything. And it was, there's always something to be grateful for. And a lot of times it starts just with something beautiful. It's seeing a flower and realizing how beautiful that is, or in my case, a sunrise, and being grateful for the eyes to be able to see the sunrise. And being grateful for the legs that could carry me on my walk.
Mm-hmm.
So even when it seems like there's absolutely nothing in life to be grateful for, it might require going back to the very, very, very base of being grateful simply to be breathing.
I love that. Let's supercharge some gratitude. Supercharge some gratitude. I want to appreciate you, Victoria, for bringing this energy forward of appreciation. And then also, what I discovered in this process, probably about the same exact time as you, Missy, go figure. And all of us, right? Anyone notice the synchronicities? Was to get into the who. Who are we grateful for? Because I had a hard time being in gratitude for myself because I was pissed at me at that time. I was angry at myself. I felt like I wasn't doing this or that, or I wasn't adding up to whatever it is I was supposed to, I thought add up to. I wasn't being what the world had told me. You're supposed to be that, be that. So I had to look outside of me into the Who'sville and look at those maybe along the way that helped me to get to where I was, or that one person that said that one thing. For me, it was Mother Thigpen back when I was like 9 years old in a Pentecostal church in freaking, oh my God, like Glenda in Gardena, California. I mean, of all places, no other church would let my grandmother sing but these all Black Pentecostal churches. Holy rolling, praising God. They were glorious. I love them. But Mother Thigpen, she looked down at me, touched the top of my head and said, "You are meant for greatness. You are meant for greatness." And I remember thinking to her, I didn't understand what she meant. Didn't understand. And that always came back to me. But in my journey of gratitude, I remember stepping in and remembering that greatness within me. And that's what she meant. You are meant for greatness doesn't mean what I'm doing out here in the world. I was meant for greatness is what I am inside of me and bringing out to you the world, because I'm here for you, not me. So that was my moment of clarity with gratitude. So thank you, because that's the best detuning that there ever was, Victoria, to step in to the shift of perspective of gratitude. And I dig it. I'm curious with Steve and Serenity, what do you have to supercharge gratitude right now?
I'd like to say something that I was coming across this morning that really helped me as well, because I was struggling about something actually just this morning. I woke up, I didn't feel well, and my stomach was hurting, and my head just started taking off straight away. I was like, oh my God, no. Do you know what I mean? I love being in the light. Why is this happening? And, you know, and then I just locked onto this thought, which is a really terrible thought on me. I won't say what it is. But what really, really helped me this morning was I started going down the road of, as well as I like to call it appreciation personally. I like that word. I started going down the list of appreciation, but also alongside of that was compassion. Because what I was thinking, it was just this very narrow way. And when I could just open up and just step into the other side, see the other person's perspective, and just look at them like a human being. They're only, human, and just try to crack myself open to the compassion. And I was really hot on it this morning. I researched it a bit more, went down the hole a bit more of compassion. So I just wanted to throw that in the pot as well. Appreciation with this compassion as well. There's grace in compassion. You know, like the air of grace, the grace, and there's something about grace that has the power that is very close to love. Like when I've seen grace in other situations as well, when grace has been given, when someone was not feeling unworthy and, you know, they got clean off drink and drugs and stuff, right? When grace came upon them, they then really knew appreciation as well. So I just wanted to throw that in the mix. Yeah, it's big. It is
big. That's big.
It's massive. Grace alongside of appreciation, because that grace really corrects the negative mindset, and it really opens you up to thinking, you know what, there are other perspectives out there, and it's okay. Just let it go. Just let it go.
Hot damn. You are just that's just sexiness.
It was, yeah, this is what my head's like every day.
I know you know what, this is the cool part is like, this is what all of our heads are like every day. And we get this opportunity to not only talk about that, but have this union and this oneness that we are all experiencing, each of us. I mean, I'm looking at all of you right now, part of Spirituality Gone Wild, our new Spirituality Gone Wild co-creator sitting right here, and my heart is just so full of such deep gratefulness, a grateful state of being that I have. It's not just a thought, but it is a place, a state of being. And with that, I want to pass it over to Steve, because I'm curious what kind of gumption you have on gratitude and appreciation.
Yeah, I'm feeling a lot of gratitude this morning about the synchronicities of life. And Victoria and I just met a few months ago, and yet it turned out that I ended up living the last 10 years of my life about 1 mile from where she grew up, where she was born and raised. And I ended up in that spot. And it turned out it was like exactly at the 2008, at the same time that Victoria had the real estate crisis in her life. It really began a period of my life that lasted for about 10 years of we'll call it a downward spiral. The 2008 didn't bring me to my knees, but it completely destroyed the vision that I had. And it sent me on this kind of, like hot air balloon ride with a big hole in it that just kept getting lower and lower and lower. And I didn't know how to pull it out and reverse that energy. And I ended up spending that entire time in Montana, in a beautiful spot with the mountains there. And I did a lot of healing and a lot of reflection and kind of deciding, what do I want to be when I grow up? And a year or 2 years ago, I told a good friend, a person who mentored me and brought me under his wing when I first arrived in Montana, introduced me to the community, and really was a wonderful experience. I said, I'm leaving. I'm going to go back out into the world. And he said to me, I feel like you're running away. And it bothered me because he was a true friend. And I went home and I thought about it, and I said, am I running away? I really took that to heart. Am I running away? And I realized, no, I'm not running away. I'm running to what I have to go do for this next phase of my life. And I didn't know what that next phase of my life was going to be. And lo and behold, it was in July when Debbie G and I just happened to meet one day. And then the next thing you know, the Spirituality Gone Wild thing. And so it's no coincidence. So in 2014, I was doing all this reflecting, and it was a 10-year period of that. But I remember, what were your core beliefs? Someone said, what are your core beliefs? And I wrote down 2 things that really are the foundational core beliefs. We are all connected, and there are no coincidences. We are all connected. There are no coincidences. And this, I am feeling a lot of gratitude because we are connected, the 4 of us here, but the larger Spirituality Gone Wild community. And it's no coincidence that we're all here. And I'm feeling that synchronicity right now. So that's what I'm feeling gratitude for this morning.
Yay. Oh.
That was beautiful. I love you. Wow, man. I tell you, what a day. So tell me, those who are watching now and watching the replay, what's coming up for you? What is coming up for you? I love that we have, Jed says, to find the gratitude in the things you hate the most. Well, I love that because the things you dislike, why do you dislike them? Why is it uncomfortable in your body? What's happening for you? Learning that whatever's happening and uncomfortable is the best thing you could possibly have going on for you right now, because that's a shift and a change and it's just part of it. If imagine just relaxing into the flow, what would happen, right? So now, Victoria, you have lots of other things happening here. You've got other tools and modalities that you're going to be bringing to your show. Talk about that.
Oh, I just wanted to say something really quick about the word appreciation before I get into that.
Oh, yeah, please.
Yeah, the word appreciation means to raise the value of.
Oh, that's hot. Oh, I like that. Somebody want to type that in the chat?
It just makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Appreciation is almost like a money value or something.
Yeah, you take it and you raise the value of it.
Okay.
Yay.
You're hot. You guys are just rocking my world.
I really the word out. I like to play with words and the meaning of them. And the word compassion means to be with suffering. So it's to sit with the suffering and be with it and
care.
Oh.
And those are both love-based words. So when I talk about moving out of a fear-based reality into a love-based reality, it's understanding the words themselves have either a fear-based vibration or a love-based vibration. So compassion, gratitude, appreciation, those are all love-based. So when we hold ourselves in the vibration of those words, our life actually begins to shift into a more loving reality simply by the words that we choose to use and the way that we move through life. And when enough of us hold those vibrations, our entire collective human reality will start to shift, because enough of us are actually moving into using those love-based energies and thoughts and beliefs and words and feelings to shift the collective reality. So once we shift ourselves, it shifts the collective, when enough of us do.
Oh my gosh. I love this. I'd like to expand even on that too, into your love words. So let's go into the word willingness. That's a love word, to be willing, to be willing. Curiosity, to be curious. Now I'm going to expand on that. To be curious what's real for another human being, stepping deeper into your compassion. And then acceptance. Now this is where I'm getting a little like locked up lately with this word acceptance. I want to unpack that. Acceptance. Is that still within a judgment category? Because you're looking at something, well, I'm just going to accept it, or I'm accepting it. Does that mean that I'm still judging that it's not perfect and divine in its own beingness, whatever it is?
I think it's another kind of word for peace. Make peace with things. I like to make peace with things.
I love this. Okay, yeah. I like that. I like that. Feels better. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I would say I make peace with things. I still have likes and dislikes, but I don't fight against it, you know.
What do you guys think on the word? Okay, acceptance. I love that. Peace is beautiful.
So acceptance for me is about accepting what presently is, but it doesn't mean that we have to relinquish our power to it. So we can accept the current environment for what it presently is, but doesn't mean that we have to, to relinquish ourselves to it. So rather than focusing on the problem, it's focusing on solutions. So you accept the problem that currently exists and bring our power and our ability into the solution that can then override what presently exists. We can accept it. If we're resisting it, it's going to continue to persist. So we accept what is and then go about changing it if we don't like the way that it presently looks. But if we're in resistance to it, it's going to keep happening. It's like pulling on a rubber band, right? When you resist, it's going to keep pulling on you. When you accept it and relax into it, be at peace with it, then you can begin to shift it and change it. but you can't change it until you accept it.
It's the serenity prayer all over, isn't it? God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Sometimes we need to accept the things that we cannot change to just make that peace.
I love that.
It's an okay
What about
word.
What about I think I would have shifted to, what if I said the serenity prayer with God, give me the serenity to appreciate the things I cannot change.
Well, you can, but sometimes accepting, then you need to accept.
I'm fighting with that word still.
Yeah.
But I'm liking the
Powerless
place for it too.
sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you have to go into acceptance before you can go into appreciation.
Totally. Steve, I know he's just biting at the bit. I can see it. Like, it's just like, oh, come on, man. Let me just in. I got this. Come on, give me some gum.
I don't know if I have it, but
Bump it up.
what I'm thinking is I want to try to bring, some kind of positive solution to the problem. I see too many times where it's very easy to just criticize and to say what's wrong with it and kind of make a judgment. And if we can bring some energy that offers a solution, it acknowledges that there may be there may be a problem, but the acknowledgement of that problem isn't just in throwing it out there on the for like a big dud where, well, what do you do with it? If it's just if you can identify what the problem is, but you don't have any kind of positive solution to it or any kind of answer, it just lowers the whole energy. And so I think for me, this idea of acceptance is, offering something a little more, offering a way forward. And if we can offer a way forward, then that's a form of acceptance.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Thank you. And I love that, because what you're saying, what I've heard you say is go for this. Let's look at the solution. Let's not focus on what is not working. Let's focus on what does work, what does feel good, what solutions can we look. And I got you on that, because I am a big solution person. I love this. And that's why I love unpacking things whenever I look at it. But I also just love it because I'm curious about everything. Curiosity is another fun, delightful thing, because it taps us into our imagination. And our imagination, that every single solitary thing, this, well, not this, but maybe this, but this, everything was once imagined. Your microphone, the everything, it was once imagined. This backdrop behind me, I imagined this before I created it. I saw it. I wasn't sure how it was all going to piece together, but it did. You know what I mean? But everything we have was once imagined. How important is that? So how important is our curiosity? Yeah. So I love this, because what I've discovered is the solutions in the curiosity and in the imagination. If you can imagine it, it's real. Mm-hmm. And that's so powerful. Law of attraction, I love that, but baby, this is about we are living in our manifestation right this minute. Mm-hmm. Right this minute, you are living in everything that you have brought forward into your gorgeous life. And if anyone's sitting there saying, well, I don't have this or have that, again, this is what this conversation is about, looking at the perspective shift. So, Miss Victoria, mm-hmm. Let's talk about your show a little bit and what that's going to be happening.
Fearless and Free TV. It's an idea I've had for years, and I finally just launched it. About a year ago, I started getting the nudge to finally come out of the spiritual closet, as I call it. I've stepped out and gone back in. I stepped out and gone back in. Like the clownfish, right? Come out and go back in. Anyone who saw Finding Nemo. And I finally decided about a year ago to step out and lock the door behind me and start this Fearless and Free TV. And I've been dabbling with it for about the last year. I did an episode in February and did another one in April, and dabbling with what I wanted it to look like. And Spirit kept saying to me at last year, the end of last year, I kept asking, what's next? What's next? What's next? because what I was feeling I've done for the last 10 years felt like it was like old world. And it was what's next is coming. So just be at peace with being and finishing out the turbulence and I cleared a lot of things out of my life in 2020. And so what started coming in the beginning of 2021 is to take this idea of Fearless and Free TV and bring in extraordinary guests. One, teaching the things that I teach as well, my own spiritual teachings, but also bring in guests that are helping to heal the planet. The phase that we're moving into now, starting in 2021, is all of us who had our awakening 10 years ago, the 2008 shift that a lot of us went through was preparing us for the shift that's happening now. We all had our awakenings about 10, 12 years ago. Now the rest of the planet is going to be experiencing what I call the collective holy shift.
Woo! You're going to need some cowbell on that.
Oh,
Oh my God. It's the collective holy shift.
So we call it the Great Awakening. We all had our spiritual awakenings 10, 12, 20. I mean, mine started in 1987. But now the collective of humanity is going to start going through its Great Awakening. And a lot of us were prepared for that. That's what we've been practicing for the last 10 years. I've been telling all of my healer friends and teacher friends, this is what we've been practicing on each other for the last 10 years. Because now the entire collective of humanity is going to need healing and inspiration and enlightenment. So what I've been getting the nudge to do is not only teach my own teachings, but to bring in other really fabulous, inspiring teachers. We are the new news. It's up to us to inspire humanity. All they're getting from the news is fear, 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 fear. It's up to us, enough of us, to create love, 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 so that our love-based beliefs and emotions and energies and what we teach starts to override all the fear that's being fed into the collective consciousness. When there's enough love-based energy fed into the collective consciousness, the entire humanity will shift because fear can't exist in the presence of love. Like darkness can't exist in the presence of light. So we are bringing that love and light into the collective consciousness through the airwaves, through new vision. We're going to start telling new visions, and that be what humanity bases its new consciousness on. So this Fearless and Free TV is a show where I'm going to be introducing amazing guests that come into my path. And I have a lineup. I have 50 people who already want to be on my show because they have such amazing gifts to share with the world. And we can't keep them to ourselves anymore, and we can't just share them with each other anymore in our little groups. We're here to actually share them with the entire planet. So that's what Fearless and Free TV is all about. It's about teaching people how to basically free themselves from their fear-based reality. And in the love-based reality, we're all sovereign, prosperous beings. So that's
rock on. This is cool. I mean, seriously, you guys, this is just rocking. I love this. What, in addition to Spirituality Gone Wild and Spiritually Raw, which is really cool. One of our new partners. If you guys haven't seen Spiritually Raw, go over to YouTube and Google it. It's freaking, or not Google it, search it. You know, the search and Google are becoming the same thing to me anymore. So I don't know. I say search it, I think Google. Google, you did a good job on that one, can I tell you? Not a promo for Google. Just saying. Okay. All right. So we're going to now step into a couple of things that you just said. One was you can't be in fear and love at the same time, just like dark cannot reside. And you are on point. Within the darkest room, the smallest spark can be seen. Imagine that you have the strength of a mustard seed. If you believe that, all things are possible. Mustard seed being one of the most resilient, strongest seeds ever. It's also, but that spark, all of these things are in you. You're that being that has that spark. I've got it. Steve's got it. Victoria's got it. Serenity Sam's got it. We all have it. How you choose to express it and be it is all up to you. And why we do this is to hopefully give you some tools out there to do it just a little bit easier. Because let's face it, being human sometimes is a bitch. Okay, I don't care who you are. It's a pain. It can be a royal pain in my ass. Seriously, man, I just sit back and God, this human thing. It's a twisted little sucker at times. And I go, oh, look at that. It's just like, now I do. Now I sit back and go, oh, look at that. Look at that response. This is hilarious. Like I'm laughing at some of the things. When I get angry over some things now, I sit back and go, oh my God. I used to get pissed about shit like that out of my need to be heard or understood or to feel safe or to want connection or something, to feel like I was something in this world. Maybe I didn't feel like I was seen at all. Everything is this desire within, for a basic human need to be met. And when you think about that, the being humanness, how precious is that? That your needs are so precious that you've been an asshole at times.
That's beautiful.
Thanks. That's what's just, this is true compassion, true empathy. How do we become empathetic? Now, how do we get grateful for the things that we're going through, been through, going to go through? Because empathy, everything I've been through has allowed me to be a very empathetic person to anybody that's going through anything that's even remotely similar. Now, I want to caution everybody to not trauma connect with people, okay? Trauma connecting that's low vibing, but rather the energy of recognition. Yeah, I get what they're going through. Not reinforcing what's happening, but rather just reinforcing I know that's got to be tough. I know that's got to be tough. Not trying to fix it. We're not fix-its. We broke the codependent shit, all right? But I know that's got to be tough. I know that isn't feeling good. I bet that's not. But my true belief is that everything I've ever went through, without your dark, you wouldn't know your spark, is to show up for others. And my heart is able to connect with theirs in its fullest capacity. And I am able to fully bring them into my heart, into my bosom, and love them in a supernatural way. Does that make sense? That makes sense.
Yeah, because you're not getting into the pity party with them. But what people really crave is to know that they've been heard and to know that they've been felt, period. We don't need to go into nobody has a good time at a pity party. So not even to go into that, and just to hold in compassion and allow them to be heard. That's really what most people crave. It's one of our basic human needs, is to feel appreciated and to feel heard. And so it doesn't really need to go any further than that.
I think there's a lot in being the power of example as well. So I go into a detox center every week, and I know that job was given to me when I was really solid in the light. So I walk in there fun, I am joking, I'm just completely like being natural and friendly, and showing the power of like someone who I'm 18 years clean, and just showing the power of like staying clean and being happy. That is what people are looking for. They're just looking for some hope that, this stuff is worth it. When you get to the other side, there is a life, that there's fun, that there's all of this life to be lived. And I just like to keep on encouraging people that, keep on walking forward into the light, and you're going to know all that information is going to be transmuted to you because you have your own connection. So that's how I always look at helping other people, to just show them that they've got their own connection and that it's so powerful. The more and more you're stepping into the light, you are going to instinctively know. It's like having a baby. When you're a mom, you just can't believe that you know what to do. You're just like, how am I going to know? How am I going to know when to like feed them real food? How am I going to know how to help them walk? How am I going to know? How am I going to know? And I think everyone's the same. It's like, you're going to know. You're just going to know. You're going to know when it's time. And the right teachers are going to show up on your path at the right time, and just trust the whole darn process, because it's just going to get better and better.
Woo! Baby. Love it. More, but that's it. That's it. Right there. It's more cowbell. And I love that.
I'm going to do myself a cowbell for that. Here, here.
Thank you. Thank you. Steve, gump it. Baby, gump it up. Gump it up. Gump it up. Just saying. Gump it up. Steve?
Well, I'm just taking all this in, and I'm loving it, and I'm learning. And one of the things about gumption is that we don't always, excuse me, we don't always have the answer. And the beauty of what I get to do on a regular basis is learn from other teachers and to expand my own thinking and learning by hearing other ideas. And so I showing a bit of vulnerability in the experience that I've been going through as a student always surprises me, or I should say, it surprised me a lot at the beginning, and now it doesn't surprise me as much. When we show a little humility and a little bit of vulnerability, what it does is it allows others to do the same thing, and it's a permission. And I think that giving people permission to just be human and to go through their own experience on their own timeline, because we're all learning, we're all none of us have all the answers, but as a community we can all help each other. And so I just think that being a perpetual student is the biggest joy, and something I feel a lot of gratitude for, because it just allows me to keep expanding and growing. And I'm just honored that I met you, Debbie, first, and then Serenity Sam, and now Victoria, because you've all been teaching me and encouraging me. And I think we're all on our own path and journey, and that's the beautiful thing about what spirituality, what Debbie, your vision that you held and you created it, and it's just attracting the right people. And we're growing and we're learning, and we're all being human. And the human experience is what it's all about.
I love you, Steve. Thank you for gumping it up. Gump it up. I love this. This is beautiful. spiritualitygonewild.com. You guys need to go check it out. It's really cool. And what's really also cool is that we have great courses, and you can dive in to learning all of these different tools yourself, and then morph it, make it yours, because we're all unique. Every single person has the gifts. We all were born with them. Every single person has the gifts. Every one of them. There's not one of us that do not. The difference is who we choose it with intention, whether or not to use them. That's it. As far as the gifts, there's not any, Jesus did not walk this earth being special. He wasn't special at all. He was unique. But he was not special. And he never wanted to be called special. He didn't want to be put out that way, but more, as the uniqueness. So each of us have our uniqueness and how that we're going to choose to bring forward the gifts. And I'm sitting here looking at you three and the uniqueness that resides in each of you. Steve bringing forward American Gumption, teaching how to be human and do it just a little easier. And it's beautiful. And your way is perfect. And then we have Serenity Sam bringing forward this high vibing music, tapping into the resonance of the law of attraction, bringing forward your uniqueness, your beauty, your joy. Perfect the way it is. And then Victoria bringing forward her goddess nature, her warrior, stepping into her warrior. And if you go look at her website, you'll see what I'm talking about. This woman has a sword and she's dressed ready for the ball. Unbelievable. Can't even get out of it. I'm sitting back going, but this is her expression, her uniqueness. And that in its divinity is perfect the way it is. It's beautiful. And me, I'm just me, Debbie. Spark the G vibe, baby. Spark that G vibe. That is your gratitude vibration. Yep. Without your dark, you wouldn't know your spark. More cowbell! Rock and roll, baby, rock and roll. And I want to say that Donna says the strongest people are not those of us who show strength in front of us, but those who win battles that they know nothing about. Thank you very much for that. I do appreciate it. Big time. You rock. So I want to also, before we head out, get a last word from everybody, but also let everyone know, if you go to spiritualitygonewild.com and look at Grateful Living, you can look at our magazine. It's right there. I'll get real swift here and put a link into the chat for you all. But please go take a look. All of these gorgeous people are in this e-zine, and it's free. And there's links and there's freebie stuff in there, and there's all kinds of good stuff. So please go take a look. So we're going to be heading out in the next 2 minutes, and we're going to take just a couple minutes each. Well, I guess we got started a little late. We have a little bit longer, but let's go into just giving everybody a last tidbit for the day, and go for it. We'll start with you, Steve, and then we'll work to Serenity, Victoria, and back to me.
Yeah, the movie Forrest Gump, the feather lands at the foot of Forrest Gump, and what did he do? He reached down and picked it up. And it's lesson number 1 from the life lessons from the movie, is that the feather represents the opportunities that come into your life. And the thing about these opportunities is that they are always landing at your feet, but you always have to take a little bit of action, and you have to reach down and you have to pick them up. But these opportunities are plentiful and they're there. And my guess is that you probably know 1 or 2 feathers that are at your feet right now that you're kind of circling around and thinking, should I pick that up or should I not pick it up? And I would just encourage you to, the sooner you pick it up, the sooner you'll know whether it fits and whether it's the right thing for you. So go ahead and take a chance, pick it up. And the flip side of that is that sometimes you've been holding on to a feather that is time to let it go. And, those are the ones that you need to give up and move on for, because you can't reach down and pick up something new if you're already holding on to something with a clenched fist. So that's my life lesson from the movie Forrest Gump. Number 1 is the feathers are your opportunities. Reach down and pick them up.
They're also I think also a sign from the universe, the angels, and those that have already done the ones that have croaked. Just isn't coming out. It just wasn't coming out, for goodness sake. Thank you, Steve. Serenity.
Oh, just life is for the living, and the best thing I've ever done is to attempt to get into alignment with source energy. And it's transformed my life, absolutely transformed my life. So, stick with the winners, stick with the people that are just talking positive and you find encouraging. Play around, go jumping around, all sorts of different things. Listen to positive things, positive people. Just really, for me, it's been really getting into the positive zone and just experiment, see where it takes you. It's so interesting, what transpires when you start getting into alignment with this energy. So, have fun with it. And, we're all here as well, and do reach out. We're not just, virtual people that just disappear. We're all around. So I always just say to everybody, be your own experiment and do just stick with people that are the winners and listen to that little voice that says, that's right for me.
I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Victoria.
My tidbit of wisdom for the day is, no matter what is happening in your life, what you see swirling in the world around us and in our own lives, is to always ask ourselves, how can I see this through the eyes of love? And that will start to pull us out of the fear and the apprehension that tends to be there, and that's being spread toward us across the airwaves. And life happens. There is a misperception that the law of attraction brought this thing to me. That's absurd. The law of attraction is only one of many of the universal laws. So there's more at play than that. Stuff happens in life, individually and collectively. So it's up to us to learn how to change the perspective on those circumstances when they arrive in our lives. And the thing that I have found that to be the most powerful is, how can I see this, whatever this is, through the eyes of love? And when you start to ask that, the situations will start to unravel. The lessons will start to show themselves. The unresolved issues will start to show themselves. And the opportunities will start to show themselves. Because as we know, in every adversity is an opportunity. In all the chaos, there is opportunity. If we can train ourselves to look at all the circumstances through the eyes of love, the opportunity to shift the entire reality will start to manifest itself. So that's my tidbit for this morning.
Wow.
Yay.
Wow. I'm going to tell you that what I'd like to do to seal this one is just hold tight, everybody. We're going to go maybe a second over, but if you're all good with that, let's step into what does it mean to really see through the eyes of love, observe from the space of source. And I would like to thank in advance True Osborne for this supernatural love.
You made the heavens, planted the earth, gave us stars for direction. But what was it worth if we don't have love? Oh, your perfect love. You filled the oceans, painted the sky, gave us each other. So tell me why, why we're lacking love. Oh, why we're lacking love. Oh, can't you see the darkness trying to divide? Yeah, you know it's up to us to keep shining bright and let our hearts stay lifted high. Oh, can't you see the darkness trying to divide? My Lord, you know it's up to us to keep shining bright and let our hearts stay lifted high. Oh, you can prophesy, speak in the tongues you made, but if you don't have compassion, how will they understand that we were made from love? Oh, we were made from love. Oh, yeah. Oh, can't you see the darkness trying to divide? My Lord, you know it's up to us to keep shining bright and let our hearts stay lifted high. Oh, can't you see the darkness trying to divide? Oh, you know it's up to us to keep shining bright and let our hearts stay lifted high. Time to spread more love. Oh, perfect love, supernatural love. Your love.
Ha.
Nice.
Deep breath. And with that, this has been one of the best, most extraordinary cup of gratas with a shot of expression and 4 squirts of reality that I think I've had ever. I want to thank each of you. And tomorrow morning, catch Victoria Reynolds' very first show. Steve Weber's show starts at 7 a.m. Pacific time, and that is America Gumption. And then you, Victoria, will be at
10? Here? No, I have another interview elsewhere at 10, but I'll be here at noon.
Noon. That's what it was. Noon. Noon tomorrow. So, and South Buxy's on at noon tomorrow. Oh, no, that's today. today. I'm now confused on what day it is. I just went off into, I don't know about y'all. I was just off floating in the ether somewhere, just gone. Came back. Oh, wait, what day of the week is it? Oh my God. Okay. You know, that's just the way it rolls with Debbie sometimes. Anyway, yeah, that's today actually at noon. And then tonight at 7 p.m., watch for Drama to Dharma with Josie Herndon, and she will be channeling Archangel Gabriel. And that is it. Oh, I know. Seriously. So tomorrow at noon, fearless and free, you guys. It's time to step into your power. Welcome, Victoria, to Spirituality Gone Wild. It's a blessing that you are here. Woo! Cowbell! And if you could just take us out with some song, girl.
Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Let's rip it!
Yes. All right. I want peace. I want peace. I want peace. I want, I want faith. I want peace. And I want love.
Woo! Love it. Bye, everybody.